Ah, sacred time. What better time than right now at this moment? So, today's Friday the 13th. Alright. It's 12/13/2024. And this is my first video on my channel. What a sacred number at a sacred time. Be my first video. So, I'm starting this journey. And I came to the realization that I'm going to just give my interpretation on what I feel may be a message, probably collectively for others, but also for myself. I actually had a scenario happen early this morning, so it can be pertaining to before or after. So I got a 4-card spread here, and out of 4-card spread, pretty much kind of like I'm going to give you what the card means, the interpretation of the card, the following card in sequence, and what it means following the prior card, and then I'll give you my own interpretation on what I feel like I've kind of received, the message I received from this alone. All right, so let's get this off. I'm gonna flip this first card here. First card we got here was the 7 of Spades. All right, core meaning for the 7 of Spades is like it has to do with deception, hidden motives, or a need for strategy. All right, this card sets the groundwork, indicating that the situation begins with an awareness of challenges or secrets. It suggests a need to uncover truths or navigate cleverly through an unclear and tricky situation. All right, the influence on the rest of the cards that follow behind the 7 of Spades. All right, the 7 of Spades introduces the theme of overcoming illusions or obstacles. Everything following represents the progression from recognizing these challenges to resolving them emotionally. All right, so then we have the 8 of Spades following here, the following card. All right, the core meaning for this is it's like a feeling trapped or some type of being binded or restricted or constrained. All right, the 8 of Spades suggests that the deception or the strategy required in the 7 of Spades may lead to mental paralysis or a sense of being boxed in. However, this feeling is often self-imposed, tied to overthinking or fear. All right. Behind the 8 of Spades, the 7 of Spades suggests that these restrictions stem from the challenges it introduces, perhaps from unclear motives, dishonesty, or eternal confusion. So, I'm gonna get my input after this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys the actual meaning of what it means, and then I'll kind of indulge or kind of give my own like explanation in the sense of what I'm getting. All right, I can kind of give testimony on my own actual personal experience of what may have transpired today, and also what I feel like is to come from the understanding I've gained. All right, but the following card here is the 9 of Hearts. This meaning is like an emotional fulfillment and achieving a heartfelt desire. So this card represents a turning point, showing that progress is possible. And after navigating the mental challenges of the spades, it's a wish granted or a reward for persistence. The 7 and the 8 of Spades highlight the journey, overcoming deception and self-doubt to finally reaching emotional clarity or satisfaction. All right, then we have the last card here is the King of Hearts. See how we got that 7, 8, 9 sequence here? All right, but the King of Hearts says emotional mastery, wisdom, and leadership. The King of Hearts symbolizes the ultimate resolution, where emotional challenges are not only overcome, but transformed into a source of strength and guidance for others. The previous cards represent the path of emotional maturity. The fulfillment of the 9 of Hearts becomes the foundation upon which the King stands, turning personal joy into emotional leadership. All right. I feel this spread kind of tells us a story of moving forward from mental challenges and restrictions, such as the 7 of Spades and the 8 of Spades, to emotional fulfillment and mastery. The sequence emphasizes personal growth and transformation through perseverance and emotional awareness. I feel the journey begins with like a mental or external difficulty, possibly related to dishonesty or unclear intentions. These create a sense of restriction, leading to self-doubt or the feeling of being stuck. All right. When it comes like to the 8 of spades, to the 9 of spades, I kind of see by facing these challenges, the mental burdens begin to lift, leading to emotional clarity and the fulfillment of desires. This shift marks the release of fear and somewhat the realization of joy. And then we got from the 9 of hearts to the King of hearts. It's like the fulfillment of achieved, or fulfillment being achieved in like the 9 of hearts, which serves as a stepping stone or emotional wisdom. The King of hearts signifies not only the reward of personal growth, but also the ability to guide and support others with compassion and emotional intelligence. All right. So,
hey, Rick at that.
Kind of like this overall is basically like 7 of spades and 8 of spades. It's like a test of mental resilience and forces you to confront illusions or restrictions. I seen like the persistence leads to emotional fulfillment, which is the 9 of hearts, and showing, the trials were necessary for personal joy. Ultimately, this journey results to emotional maturity and wisdom, which shows as the like finite of the King of hearts, enabling you to lead with compassion and strength. But I'll just kind of give somewhat of my own personal experience here from here. Hold on. So when I look at the 7 of spades, right, initially, okay, this is not a coincidence that we'll go back to deception or hidden motives or a need for strategy. All right, this is the 7 of spades. This is the initial theme to everything, right? So when the 7 of spades showed up, it could pertain to what is to come in a sense, or something that has already happened, or even in this present moment. But if I kind of align the sequence of what actually transpired, this morning I had a situation where I was dealing with some individuals that are not really contemporaries of mine, like that younger individuals, younger fellas, and they came to me for some type of foresight or advice, right? And I kind of had to be watchful for my influence, although I had to still speak in like in a sense like layman's terms, but speak in a way that they can understand me, all right? But I tried to kind of show some type of compassion, but I had to be a little strategic in my approach, in a sense, because in a sense, like, I'm still dealing with grown men, but even though they're young men, their ability to rationalize ain't too, I would say it ain't too up to par when it comes down to certain scenarios that we face in life. So that's the reason why they kind of look to me for some type of counsel or, advice, right? So I approached a situation, all right, that became a challenge for me because it was like I had to address a situation where the young fellas may have been swift to mischief, right? They were being influenced amongst each other to perform a not so good deed. You know what I'm saying? And me being somewhat like an elder, I had to approach this with some type of strategy to try to kind of like, I couldn't really necessarily, I wasn't able, this is where the 8 of spades came in at, because when me having to approach this, I had to come in a fervent way to kind of interject the scenario, because I couldn't stop them from being concrete in their decisions as they conspired within each other. I couldn't stop them from choosing to make a choice. They had already had their mind made up of what they were going to do, right? So me being an elder, I had to be a little bit more, I guess, receptive and I would say lenient. I had to be a little bit more, I couldn't be so controlling or forceful with my advice or my information. You know what I'm saying? I just could only give them the wise word and pray that, it would have some type of volume in the midst of their endeavor, So, boom. It's kind of like I faced somewhat of a challenge of feeling like I was kind of restricted from being able to get through to the one who had more of an influence over the party of the young fellas. So I had to try my best to kind of like give them wise counsel, even in the midst of conflict or mischief. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like my scenario there of feeling kind of like restrained, or I felt kind of like where I was kind of restricted because my influence could go but so far when a person's already concrete in the decisions they're about to make. You know what I'm saying? Although I already knew the intent. You know what I'm saying? It's just me still trying to still allow or bring about or spark, a conscience in the individuals to have somewhat of a better mind frame if they're still going to, execute or promote or actually address a situation in whatever manner. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like I came across the experience of having to go through this 7 to 8 of spades, right? Well, what brought me to somewhat of some type of fulfillment was because although the situation actually transpired, it didn't end up the way I feared it may end up because of what they considered me saying. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the situation wasn't approached too aggressively to where it grew out of proportion to where it was out of control and no one could actually contain, the situation. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, the individual still had, had somewhat of a conscience from my influence. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of brought me to somewhat of a point of where I felt like, okay, thank you, God, for actually giving me the ability to have some aspect of volume in the individuals. You know what I'm saying? Because, everything actually went through the way it did, yeah, but no one was harmed. There was no type of conflict afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It actually, there's peace now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just all I really seek for, and that's all it's really about most of the time, is us being able to be aligned with God in order for us to be able to receive God, in our peace. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I just think, for me to see the King of Heart pop up, I feel like that was just somewhat more of a confirmation of me still taking the courage to approach a situation that many elders would not approach. You know what I mean? Alone. I just stood out there on God and I addressed the situation the way I felt, I could, make some type of impact, although usually you mind your business in a place where I'm at, you keep yourself to yourself, but it's like, even though somebody could be victimized, even the person, the offender or aggressor is also a victim of their ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't understand that either, so I still try to intercede the best I can in both ways. You know what I'm saying? It could be a total stranger and I still try to intercede out of compassion. And, it takes a lot of real actual resilience. It takes, that type of, mental courage and esteem in God to, face things, head on in your truth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what that is, man. And I pray that you got something out of that, and what I hear in other tarot readers, you take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what I'm saying? So take what resonates, leave the rest. It's just a collective, I would say, not so much of a read, but it's just more of like a testimony. You know what I'm saying? It's more like how I take synchronicity and, I can extract, actual divine expression from, the spiritual realm of God, and I can actually decipher the emotion of God before the things that I witness, from the things that I witnessed that's before me. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, it's nice to meet everybody. I hope I got some better material for you guys. But this is just day one of the start of my journey, man. All right, till next time, man. You know what to do, man. Like, share, man, comment, man. If you like, support me. I do also have a channel called God's Harness, but that's just me and my personal vlog of just me and my truth in me and my truth, man, in the circumstance I'm in. So, like I said, man, if you like what you're seeing, please, man, support. Till next time.